Hello, welcome. My name is Matt with Merci Coffee Truck. I'm going to show you how to cup coffee today. What the heck does cupping coffee even mean? Basically, it's like a standardized way that the industry grades coffee, figures out their flavor notes, those ridiculous things that they say on the bag. And yeah, it's just like a ridiculous way of trying coffee that for some reason everybody does. So here we're going to do it. So today you can get cupping bowls. We don't have any. So these are just two different size bowls that are similar. Put 11 grams of coffee in each. Today we're using a Ethiopian from DeMello, as well as a mystery origin that my buddy Josh gave me. I believe it's Brandywine is the roaster, but we'll find out. So basically you just take your coffees, grind them, put them back in the bowls that they're in.
Guys haven't checked out our bundle number 2.
11, yo. Boom. So a couple things you're going to need for this, as well as the coffee, is a scale, like we talked about before, water, which conveniently is almost done boiling, as well as some spoons. You can get fancy cupping spoons. We don't have those either, so we're going to use normal spoons. These are for tasting the coffee. You slurp it. It's kind of fun. So as far as the grind size goes, you want to just kind of grind it to what you normally would be drinking your pour over coffees with. Don't fiddle around too much. Yeah, because you want it to be a familiar taste to what you're used to. Let me just check the instructions on how to do this. All right, so the water's all boiled for you. The next thing you want to do is combine the water with the coffee. So we're going to do this mystery one first. You're aiming for 180 grams of water if you're doing 11 grams of coffee. I don't know what the ratio is off the top of my head, but that's what you want. Start your timer and just kind of let her rip. $180, cool. Pop that guy over there. So cupping is a interesting way of tasting coffee. It's a little bit different. It is time consuming because right now we've poured our water. We have to let it steep for 4 minutes. In that time, you can kind of get down and sniff them. It's kind of nice because these two coffees are very different. This one, I could tell right away after grinding it, it's like very fruity, very weird. Whereas the DeMello is kind of just like a nice, balanced, well-roasted, fruity but not ridiculous coffee that maybe, yeah, more people are used to something like this, whereas this one is probably a bit weirder for a lot of people. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna smell them, get a gauge for what we're dealing with here. Yep. Yeah, so like I said, it's nice to do cupping when the coffees are very different, because if you have 2 coffees or 3 or 4 or 5, you can do as many as you want. It's kind of fun with lots. You can take notes about your notes. But when the coffees are very different, it makes it easier and a little bit more exciting, because if you got a bunch of coffees from like the same region in Costa Rica, they might taste similar, in which case you're gonna be like, well, I can't really tell which one I like the best. Whereas when you have very different coffees, you should be able to tell, or at least tell they're different. So yeah, we've made it to 4 minutes right now, and right now it looks a bit like a French press would after sitting for 4 minutes immersed in the coffee. This is a fun part of the process. after you've been standing there for 4 minutes staring at your bowls of coffee, you get to get a little bit more involved with them. You're still not tasting anything yet, but you should get to experience the coffee a little bit more now. So what you want to do right now is, it's called breaking the crust. You should be able to tell from looking at it that there's a crust that is formed on top of the coffee. Science is involved, but I don't know. It's just what happens. That's the deal. So right now I'm gonna get my nose right into the coffee bowl when I'm about to break the crust, because actually when you're breaking the crust at this stage, a lot of the aromas of the coffee are released. So I got a good sense of the smell of them before, but then you can get a really good sense of the smell when you're doing this process. So let's dive right in. That one almost smells kind of like vitamin C tablets, like when you pop the lid off of the orange vitamin C tablets. Kind of smells like that. A little bit kind of fermenty, a little citrusy. This one on the other hand kind of smells like a cookie or something. Kind of cinnamony, I'd say. I don't know what the flavor notes are on either of them. And that's kind of the fun of cupping. It doesn't matter. Dishwasher just kicked on. That's ideal when you're cupping. So we want to wait a few minutes for it to cool. Generally from the start of when you first poured the water into the coffee to when you're tasting the coffee, you're looking at around like 12 minutes. And that's including the time where you broke the crust and swirled it around, as well as when you're ready to slurp it. So we've got a few minutes left. The dishwasher just beeped. I'm gonna quickly empty the dishwasher and it'll be slurping coffee time after that. You can... All right, so we've made it to our 12 minutes on the timer. This is the time when you actually get to taste the coffee. So the way you want to do it, which we're not doing it right now apparently, but typically what you would do in a normal cupping in a normal year is you would have a cup in the middle. You would each have your own spoon. You would taste the coffee, dip the spoon in the cup of water to kind of get that coffee's residue off of it, and then you would move on to the next coffee and kind of repeat the process. But right now, didn't fill up a cup with water, so we're just using 2 different spoons. My handy assistant will now fill up a cup with water. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so just give her a little rinse. Get that fresh spoon. Just kind of what you want to do here is, well, first of all, what you should do when you're cupping, Matt, is take off the like bubble looking bits from the top of it. That's just a little bit more bitter, so you're not going to get an accurate taste for what the coffee looks like or tastes like. So don't go to the bottom of the bowl when you're going to taste it, because that's where all the residue has settled, all the coffee grounds. So you want to get right from the top. And you want to get a nice, good slurp going. The slurping, it's kind of weird, but basically it aerates the coffee on the way into your mouth and gets kind of the flavor up the nasal cavity into your brain, so you know what the coffee tastes like a bit more. I'm gonna actually do that one more time. Very funky. It's almost like it's been Yeah, it's kind of like wine, like fermenty almost. So we're gonna move on to the DeMello. That's a crowd pleaser right there. Kind of a good all-arounder. Real great in your standard Wednesday morning cup of coffee. You don't want to mess around. You just need a good cup of coffee. That's what that guy is right there. It actually kind of tastes like a cookie too. It smelled like one, and it kind of tastes like one. That one just fully tastes funky. I could be slurping all day. I might lose a few misophonia friends through that, but yeah, so that's basically, in essence, that is coffee cupping. Get amongst it. Tastes delicious. Can't believe you watched all the way to the end of this cupping video. Congratulations. You're the best. Bye. See you never again. All right.
No, I see you never.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. Thanks for watching. Peace. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's good. Can I try?